It took me years to understand that our parents cannot give us what they did not have. I got to the point where I understand that my parents are not perfect. They're human beings and they have flaws. It never occurred to me that them doing their best is limited by what they've seen growing up. We need to understand that they were raised by a generation that had so much material scarcity that emotional neglect and physical neglect were a norm. So, how are they supposed to know what unconditional love looks like if they've never had it? They cannot give us what they did not have. Keep that in mind. I realize I have so much empathy for my parents because they were given even less than what we had. Does that excuse the emotional neglect and lack of love expressions when we grew up? No. But it definitely helps me empathize with how much they've tried to give us what they thought was unconditional love, wanting the best for us. I haven't been home for 3 years, and living with my mother again, now that I'm back in China, the experience has definitely changed. I think for the better. I suddenly felt less entitled for what we call unconditional love. I'm more thinking that it took you a lot to provide for me physically, materialistically, and you never learned how to provide emotional support. And the fact that you still did not a terrible job makes me grateful. And I think people who start their healing journey, they realize there's so much of it have to do with their childhood and how they were treated by their parents. And that realization sometimes enables a certain level of resentment towards our parents. At least it did for me. But at the end of the day, our parents were dealt a deck of cards, and most of them played the best hand with what they've got. They didn't have the tools and information that we do now to self-reflect and truly understand the concept of providing an unconditional love. So I, for one, am grateful that mine did their best to love and care for me, and it's time for me to show them what full acceptance and unconditional love looks like. Don't get me wrong, it's still frustrating to be dealing with parents that left you trauma and you're back to your old environment getting kind of almost re-traumatized. I think I definitely have started to be able to heal under the same circumstances, even though it feels a little bit re-traumatizing. Being in the same scenario again with a completely different mindset helps me better my relationship and interaction with my own mother. If you would like me to elaborate into that, I am happy to share. Let me know.